Joining us now from Vegas, the only Group of Five coach coming off of a Power Four win over the weekend. We got second-time guest now, UNLV head coach Barry Odom. Coach, first of all, congrats on a big win to open the season, and thanks for coming back on with us.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. I think I should get something second time on. I don't know when I'll be watching the mail. I don't know what that is,
It's
but
coming.
honored
Did
to
we
be on
not
with you.
send anything the first time?
No. I'm sure it's lost in the mail. I get that a
Well,
lot.
Federal
you know,
government,
U.S. Postal Service now, you know what I mean? It's just a disaster everywhere. That's probably what happened.
I'm sure it did. Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys, man. You do a great job, and the opportunity to talk about our kids and our program. I sure appreciate the chance to be on with you guys.
Well, Coach, what did you see week one? You know, across the country, there was honestly, in my opinion, it's sloppy, which is typical. A lot of mistakes. A lot of teams struggled with teams they maybe shouldn't have struggled with, and all around the country. But you guys were one of the few teams that it seemed like in every phase of the game, you looked good. You looked solid. What did you see out of your guys week one?
I think we started fast, which we knew that was important for us. Not just the game or the game one, but play number one. Some things within the first couple of drives that we really wanted to establish and hit, and I thought we did. Really establishing the line of scrimmage on both sides. I thought we were able to do that early on and really took control of the game. That was good. I wasn't. You're always worried going into the first one about can we tackle? How well can we tackle? We've tackled more good on good this year than I ever have in my career before. And we had 3 scrimmages, all live tackling. We've done some live tackling still when we're good on good because I think those things get exposed so early. We had a couple of holding calls that really took away 2 explosive plays, which I think could have would have broken the game open even earlier than it did. We left some things out on the field. Those things, they're all correctable on a couple of those mistakes we had. It looked like game one in some areas for us. But I think overall we minimized some of those things because we were able early on to establish the line of scrimmage.
Coach, do you in your career, do you prepare differently throughout camp and especially going into that first game week when you're playing, a power four team like Houston, or not to disrespect or disregard anybody, but an FCS opponent or somebody like that?
We have not, and we didn't. The years I was a head coach at Missouri, it kind of varied who we opened the season with. My first game ever as a head coach, we opened up at West Virginia, so it wasn't like I had a couple of games to get things broken in. So the approach that we took, and really I learned a lot of practice structure on what we do now. Was my 3 years at Arkansas on some of the plans that Coach Pittman brought with him from Georgia on our practice structure. And it really every year is a little bit different. You guys know that every team's different, but I think we are an older team this year. We were young last year because of some transfers. Another year in the program with our guys developmentally. I pressed them. I was concerned getting into game week because I looked at the rep count of what we had and we started to look a little bit slow and heavy legged the first part of the prep for Houston. So I was a little concerned about that because of all the reps that we got during fall camp. Our guys, habit wise, recovery, all the things that we needed to do leading up to the game. I thought that we peaked at the right time. And I think this team, up to this point, we're gonna push them really, really hard. And I'm talking about our rep count, and even good on good today. Man, we went at it against each other, ones versus ones, twos versus twos. Threes versus three. We had good on good work. We're going to continue that as long as we can, depth wise, because I think the speed of the game for us that'll help us.
Coach, we talked about Matthew Sluka when he transferred to UNLV, and you kept that decision pretty close to your chest. Was it something in camp or right before the week one? What really kind of gave him the edge that you think?
Yeah, I do. He had a good first game. I was excited about the decisions he made. He ran the ball extremely well. We left, we got into the second half, guys, and after we would have picked six, made it 24-0, and I told the offense, I said, I do not want to see a ball in the air. And that was early third quarter. So it was a different game from that context, so we didn't open things up in the air very much at all. We're excited about, what we think this offense can become, but I also think, we've got three quarterbacks that I still feel like we can win with. He ended up, we named him internally, and the team knew it 7 or 8 days before our first game. I just wanted the continuity of him getting the majority of the reps. But I think, overall, we looked at, production during fall camp, live situations, third down percentage, touchdowns, explosive plays, how many sacks did or did not, give up or produce, and all those things really leaned towards him, but it was really close. And, I tell Haj and then Cam Friel that you guys are a play away from your number being called, and so they've done a great job on continuing to prepare like they are the starter. And I've tried to use with them. There's a guy who was around for a couple years at Missouri, Chase Daniel, who played 14 years in the NFL, never was a starter in the NFL for a full season, but he was a backup for 14 years, and his mindset on the way he approached it, I've talked to him a lot about it because it's such great respect and one of the greatest competitors I've ever been around. He was so ingrained in wanting to prepare like the starter because he said, man, when I get my opportunity, I do not want to let this organization down. And so some of those things for me to be able to talk to those guys that didn't get named the starter, I think hopefully that helped him out a little.
Now, have you seen some of the nicknames already going around for Sluka? I'm seeing Sluka Doncic. I'm seeing Sluka season is something we've been saying. Have you seen those? Funny? Has he got himself an NIL deal already?
Believe me, there's been plenty of asks and requests. You know how that goes. But, he needs to just keep playing efficient. He prepares really well. I mean, I came out of a staff meeting down here for this, and he was waiting in the hall to go in the meeting room to get back on the video. We're a morning practicing team. So a lot of times, guys are back around in the afternoon watching extra film, and the quarterbacks, they live in here. And as all the great ones, you have to. So, he knows we left a lot of things out on the field last week, and he wants to get those corrected. And certainly let's make a jump here going into week 2 and be more productive than we were week 1.
Well, you get the big win. You get to come back home against Utah Tech. How difficult is it to get your guys to be focused on a team like that? I know they know Kansas is the following week. So what's kind of the mindset and message that you give to the team going into?
Well, I think, we address those things. We got to respect everybody that we're going against internally. Let's remove, and we said the same thing going into week 1. I wanted to remove the logo. That means zero to us. It's on how we're going to go practice, and the way that our Tuesday practices are structured. If you're not ready to go and you're not focused, you will get exposed really quickly. And the great thing right now on the depth that we have real competition at most every spot. And we've got a bunch of guys that are hungry and fighting for playing time. And that's been a fun part of this fall camp and up to the point we are now, because we do have a number of players that can step in and play, and our team understands that.
Coach, I think this is, the fun thing that Jeff and I get to do is start looking 10 weeks ahead and what different matchups might be and how big of a game might be. How hard is it for you guys to look at Boise State playing Oregon, and you're thinking, okay, well, if they beat Oregon, that might look better for the playoff situation, or any of these scenarios. Do you guys, just like with playing Utah Tech, do you not even worry about it?
No, I would lie to you if I said that we weren't, myself. I mean, you're always looking around the league and you're seeing, we got plenty of work set for us here to try to get as good as we can get for week 2. But I mean, you're always looking, or I am. I always want to look around the country, look around the conference, and see what the slate is and how that could possibly play out for us in advance. And our schedule's so different this year. We've got 5 Friday night games, and so the opportunity, we've got 11 of 12 that are on national TV. So you want eyes on you, you're going to have a chance to go do that here. And I've told the guys, the more we win, the more respect that we'll gain. We'll earn those things, and And if we don't play well, it'll be taken away really quickly. That's the way it is this year. I mean, you talk about a schedule, the gauntlet that we're going through. It is straight beast mode. We got to be ready to go every single week.
Well, you get your first home opener next week, and I was there in Vegas over last weekend and saw a lot of UNLV, signs and big video boards, and it seems like Vegas is bought in, and I know you've been harping that message. What are you kind of expecting for the first home crowd of the year?
We're going to do it. We're going to have a pep rally tomorrow on campus. They've got it set up where anybody that's a student at UNLV can go to the game for free. And we got 32,000 students here. So my charge with them is let's get at least half of those guys in there, and that's going to help everything. Allegiant's the greatest football facility there is in college football to play. I mean, it's going to be 70 degrees and no wind. It's going to be awesome. And that place, it does get loud because it holds the volume inside. We could really can turn that into a great home field advantage. UNLV, in the years that we've played football, we are Vegas's original team. And I've tried to continue to lean on that message because we were here before, everybody that's here now, and it's the sports mecca of the world. But we were the original, and let's embrace that. And I understand the more you win, the more following you will get. So that's my job, to put together a winning program. So the city, up to this point, man, they've been great. They've been very, very supportive, and it's only growing as you would expect.
Well, Coach, I mean, if you put on the performance you guys put on this past weekend, and you keep doing it, that's how you're definitely going to keep those fans, keep those students showing up to Allegiant. And then you need them to. The most important part is when you get into conference play. And
Absolutely.
so how do you get the students to understand? Maybe Houston is a bigger name brand or something like that, but hey, when we're playing conference, playing in the Mountain West, those are the games we really need your help at.
Yeah, the thing, I think a lot of that, the very good point. It's just the education piece on what it looks like and what it needs to be, and then make it favorable like we are right now, that they can go for free. We need them. I'm going to, I talked to the incoming freshmen, the first week of class. I spent some time with that group. And then, the more and more that we can be involved on campus together, and them understanding that they truly can and will make a difference in the outcome of the game. I mean, we can turn it into a home field advantage, and they should take pride in that. And so we're excited about it. I like the challenge of trying to fill the thing up. And, if we'll keep playing good football, the city will follow.
Well, Coach, we can't thank you enough for coming on. Can't thank you enough for getting that win, for us as fighting this group of 5 fight. So thank you for doing your part in that. And, we're rooting for you guys the rest of the way. Hopefully we can catch up with you, midway through the season or towards the end of the season. And you guys are still very much in the mix to be playing into late December and potentially January. But now are you a hat guy? Are you a sweatshirt guy, polo guy? We'll get you some merch out there.
I'm a hat guy. I am definitely not a visor guy. Visors don't do much for me. I don't have any hair.
I don't think we have any visors.
Yeah, I'm a hat guy. Yeah,
we'll get some merch out to you
We'll
real
get
quick.
Man, I appreciate the job y'all do.